So welcome in. Glad you're here.
Good morning, afternoon, and evening, folks.
Sorry, I thought they were waiting for refs and they're not. So
I guess they're not. Oh, well, that's interesting.
They changed their mind.
All right, well,
back to you.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, folks, wherever you may be. Adam Gilson here with Modern Foos, coming live from the 2024 National Foosball Championships in New Orleans, Louisiana. This is the Open Doubles Final. On the left-hand side, at nets, is Erik Hueltner. Up front is Yore on the right with the ball. Brandon Muñoz. Nets, Ryan Moore. 3 out of 5. Overtime in the 5th. This is it. This is for all the marbles. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the match, the feeling, the tenor of what we're about to see here is going to be drastically different than the last match. The match that Brandon Muñoz, Ryan Moore had to win against Shannon Coley and Kevin Romero. There's a lot of energy, a lot of chirping there, but this feels like it might be business as usual for both sides. 1-1. Last year at Texas State, this team, this pairing on the right-hand side with Ryan Moore at net, famously locked up Yore. See how that continues here this weekend in this match. Clay, what's your take on all this?
Fresh out of takes. Back to you, Adam. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm just kidding. Being silly. That's all that was. That's all that was. Let me have a moment of life that's not so serious, and I don't have bills to pay and lawns to mow, kids to feed, and taxes to pay. And I'm stuck in a loop of despair now. Sorry.
Yeah, that was awful.
I think. Well, first thing, just in response to the idea that Brandon and Ryan are going to show up to the table in their business suits, so to speak. No amount of silliness and goofiness and funsy games and trying to pull the opponent into your trap of, I'm going to pretend like I'm joking, but I'm actually just killing you while I laugh. That's not going to work here. They're not even trying it. Because Tommy and Erik they're about as business gets.
Mm-hmm.
And so just show up. They're way too good to mess around with. You can't wait until the middle of the second games to figure out, do I want to try or not? And so they're just starting off the rip here. Business on both sides. I think these are the two best defensive goalies in the game. I do think Ryan is a better defensive goalie than Erik. I don't think it's by a large enough margin to really say much about it. I just think these are the two best goalies in the game in terms of defense. Ryan is the best shooting goalie. Erik will clear the ball, bank the ball, pass the ball. And he is here for a reason. Part of that reason is his partner. The rest of that reason is himself. He's a good player. Of course, we all know what to expect from Tommy. Did you lean on a button?
No, I just pressed that. Yeah, I pressed that. So how do I?
We're gonna get you right here.
Thank you.
Yep. Tommy, Open Singles champion here this weekend. Brandon took second.
Wow.
So that's who we're watching.
There's a big elbow down the middle. It deflects back in their whole 2-2. Speaking of defense, I was told by none other than Trevor Park that Ryan Moore's post-over defense, which he made famous in the last couple of years, particularly at Worlds when he tripled, is a Erik Hueltner original.
It's like, sure, find the source on that. I think Erik Hueltner probably was doing it pretty early. Ryan maybe did it, maybe saw it from somebody else, maybe it was parallel thinking. It's kind of like the John Wayne conversation. Ryan does it better than anybody, but for some weird reason, everybody and their dog wants to say, well, actually, Justin Shaw. I saw Justin Shaw do it in 1978. And I just don't care. Like, I like Justin Shaw, and I like watching him shoot that shot, but nobody does it better than Ryan. And when it comes to that reverse defense, and like I said, I think Erik is a close second place in terms of defensive superiority, using that same defense. But I think it's still Ryan's defense that he dominates with. So whatever. That's just my thoughts. And I go to this voice every time I think something don't matter. Propane and propane accessories. That did not deserve silence.
I thought they were going to talk, but they didn't talk.
I'm tripping. That's my fault. Might have a few too many buttons over here. Sorry about that. Were they talking?
No, they wouldn't. I was just waiting. I usually quiet between 3-2.
Yeah, just autopilot for me. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Back to you.
3-2. More. Easing it up, trying to up that lane. Up tempo from Moore. Yore, though, tap far side. 3-3.
Erik Hueltner is hatless this weekend.
Yeah, come on. Sloppy Joe.
Sloppy Joe.
Yes.
0% smiles there on the left side of the table.
By the way, they have a timeout here to burn. I pressed the wrong button. Yore and Hueltner have one
You
more
can
time.
undo it if it's the last one. Just hit that left arrow right there, and it'll undo your last action up at the top.
It wasn't the last one. And there's the final timeout called. Thank you, Clay. Pass through Yore. Ties it up 4-4 in this first game. Smooth though through the lane is Muñoz. Roll over position. Game ball. Another attempt now. Erik doing what Erik does. Stalwart, third game ball attempt. Muñoz clears that, goes up 1-0.
That's going to be the money clear. I have to make clear. You know what I mean? You know my name, Ryan Money? That's right. My name's Ryan Money.
Alrighty, the second game underway. Brandon Money and Ryan More Money taking the game number one.
It's all right. It makes it faster.
I thought that was you.
I thought it was Flipper.
Little echolocation not helping you block that one. 1-0. Yore again gets it on the 5. Look out here, Moore.
Wow.
That was incredible to the middleman, that
Yes,
little
it was.
slider.
Yes.
Holy heck, and it converted by Muñoz. What a play. Beautiful.
And if you know that's coming, it's still a pain. I think Todd hit that on me 72 times in a row in Colorado State one year. If you don't look for it, and especially if it's coming from the cannon of Ryan Moore, it's brutal. It's like Mike Tyson just reaching over and thumping you in the nose.
Down the middle, Yore. Yeah, that's one of those things, catches you flat-footed. Circle your man around it as it just slowly trickles by you and your eyes get wider.
Oh, that's an angle. So question in the chat earlier was, how do you score on that? I think that's definitely one of your options. I mean, when they're in that reverse, if you can hit that cutback, and it's not easy to do. It's doable, but it's not easy. But if you can hit that cutback and at least give them something else to consider when they're defending, it's one of the ways to score on that. And I'm not going to say it's the magic bullet or anything crazy like that, but if Brandon can hit that and hit it consistently. Tommy asking there, should we take a timeout? Erik says no.
Yeah, and you love that for more. He's saying fight. They're up 3-2, up 1-0 in game count. He's a gamer. Yore.
Ooh. That was wide open, and he just hit the wall. There was nothing past the big dot. And I think that's just a result of overshooting it. That snatch.
Calls a timeout. Yore up against the defense of Moore. Quick shot attempt on the push side. Doesn't matter. Moore's there. That defense of Moore is so smart, so deceptive. And it looks so good.
And I don't usually use this word too much, but fearless, I think, belongs in there too, because he's not scared to get scored on. And I think that's part of where the confidence comes from and what makes it so intimidating is he's not afraid to just let you have an easy goal. And that's part of the defense, because you're not going to win a game. You're definitely not going to win a match with one shot.
Yeah. 4-2. Game ball again from Muñoz and Moore. Missing Danilo Fattel right now.
For real.
Really would love to see the stats here. I feel like Moore is putting up quite a performance blocking Yore. Our opportunity game ball. Pull shot position.
All these movements are setups for later in the match. And they may not look like much now, but every single movement that Ryan has back there, whether he's slowly dragging or he's faking or doing whatever, that gets stored and is going to be used later in this match, I guarantee you.
What is the response to every look you put on the table? That's that high-level play when you're not worried about execution. You're worried about what's going to happen 4, 5, 7, 8 possessions down the row. Hueltner. Stolen away by Muñoz. Puts that away, goes up 2-0. Game number 3. About to get underway here. Muñoz and Moore in control, up 2-0. Game count, you can't see them because they're way off camera. But Yore and Hueltner are talking it over right now.
I feel like I should say this just because I heard it after we went back. That little bit of coaching we just received, that needs to stay between us. Were you listening?
No.
Oh, dang.
I heard a little bit, but
that was private lessons, private mentoring on how to what ideas to look for on that defense.
Oh, okay. Come on, Brandon.
Game 3 underway. What do you think, if you had to make a prediction, Yore and Hueltner were talking about?
I won't even pretend to know at this point.
Figure that one out, and all the stuff goes away. Y'all, can you tell your friends and let them know to don't put your drinks on the table near the booth. Just don't do it. It causes too much distraction. And it might destroy millions of dollars worth of equipment.
Yeah. The question being, what do I think they went and talked about?
I mean, how about this? They go and ask you, hey, Clay, what do I do? How do I change? What do I do?
I just have to admit that it's beyond my pay grade. I mean, I think there's certain things. It's not often that you just put the match on the goalie and say, well, Ryan Moore is just dominating in the back here. And I'm not saying that that's the case, but it's a lot easier for Brandon to play his game when Ryan is passing, scoring, and blocking in the back. And this would be a lovely match to have stats for, so we could just know how lopsided it really is. And Brandon's playing well. He's getting the ball. He's shooting. He's doing his thing. But I think Tommy just has a real big problem on his hands shooting against Ryan.
Yore 2-1. Looking at that middle. Try to go long.
That's an execution thing. That happened in that last game, too, where he did it on the pull side. And, again, I'll call it overshooting. I don't know if there's a better way to describe it, but where Tommy's just mashing the gas a little too hard. And it's actually a chip. If you slow that down to, like, super slow motion, he's not spraying it to the wall from the big dot. He's chipping it, which is part of your motion when you're coming back. Your man is on the near side of the ball before you're finished swinging, so it just chips it to the wall. Speaking of chip, that's 2 of those he's hit now. And if that becomes a regular part of what he's able to do with no effort, it's a big problem for that defense. It turns it into a one-man defense.
Timeout called.
And I do know from chatting with Erik, he's going to let you shoot that. If you can hit that angle every now and then, he's going to let you do it. You're going to get your goal every now and then. You're going to have to do it often for him to adjust on that, I think.
Out of the timeout, Hueltner, small box, pull shot, position. Down the middle, ends up on the 3 of Yore.
He's picking up everything.
He is. He's got a remote control in his pocket. Look at that middle. Reverse. Try to come back down to it. Went a little too far. More. Let that up with that last pull kick. Will he pass? Will he bomb? He was trying to bomb that.
Ryan's starting off in the standard defense in the beginning of these possessions with Tommy's 3-bar. And Tommy's steady taking his time a lot. What we got going on here? I got a little sweat on the table. It's raining down there. It's a rain.
Rain more.
But I think, hello YouTube. Ryan, and again, it's an observation. It's not pretending to know what somebody else is thinking. I think Tommy's taking so long on his 3-bar that the first 5 or 6 seconds aren't really a threat because he's setting it up, he's tapping it around, he's looking. So in that first several seconds, I don't even think Ryan's defense is real. He's just giving you something so it doesn't give you an easy hole to shoot at. But
wow.
But next time Tommy gets it on his 3-bar, Look at Ryan's defense. He's in the standard defense with the middle of the table wide open. And then about 4 or 5 seconds in, he switches to that reverse. How do you catch that?
That is a beautiful pass. That is so far out of position to pick up so softly from Yore. Rollover position.
He didn't do what I was looking for either. He went into the standard with a gaping middle for like a half a second.
Oh my goodness, stuff back in there. You have it there. Yore and Hueltner get on the board.
I know. I almost did it again in the match. I got a hand.
Game 4 about to be underway. Muñoz and Moore winning the first 2.
Wouldn't you like to know what he's saying?
Yep.
He is determined to shove that ball down the middle of the table. I think anything that gets it to Tommy's 5 bar is a win.
Yep.
By the way, Ryan did it there again where he starts off the first several seconds of his defensive series with that standard, and it's just the middle is just hilariously open. And then after 4 or 5 seconds, he goes back into the things. It's just a dominating defense. Needs a name. Maybe it did. Be cool if it had one.
Yore again. Wow. I would love to see the percentages here. You would have to imagine somewhere in the, what, the 30s?
It's definitely in the 30s. It's probably the low 30s. It might be in the high 20s.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had so many shots.
Muñoz way out there. Still here, he says. Moore's been passing from back there, setting up something. Looks like he's trying to hit something hard. And then go straight from that to something soft.
Been there.
2-0 timeout call.
Don't tell them.
Here, Brandon said, "Don't tell him." Whatever he said, "Don't tell him." I want to know what that was. Brandon playing ref down there. Tell him you got 5 seconds left.
I like that.
You think that was a lucky guess?
They all have that internal clock. Muñoz. Rollover position. Goes up 3-0. Yore. There's that push side. Muñoz. Okay. 4-1. It is championship point for Brandon Muñoz and Ryan Moore. Yore needs to respond here, and he does.
That's a reluctant switch, I think. He's going to burn one. That's Ryan called that one.
I want you to pass and score too. I want you to pound the pass and pound that shot. Okay. We don't got this yet. We do got it. It's fire.
Ball back into play. Muñoz, it is championship point. Don't got this yet, he said.
Yeah.
Beautiful lane, brush, all over position. Quick shot attempt. More. Bank Finky.
Still passing on match point.
Love that. Full shot position. Keeps that down, battles, ends up on the 2. Erik. More. Pull shot position. Does he go big? No. Man. Oh my goodness. Goes long, buries that. Check that ball for dental records. And there you have it in 4 games. Tommy Yore and Erik Hueltner are defeated by Brandon Muñoz and Ryan Moore, who are your 2024 National Foosball Champions.